Hello everybody, Hassan here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about this latest interview on CNBC with Senator Warren. She basically attacked Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. I want to talk all about this. And before we do that, guys, before we talk about this interview, guys, please do like this video, smash that like button, destroy that like button, guys. YouTube algorithms, we all know how they work. Thank you very much for the support, guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Hit that notification bell, guys. Our videos get to you faster through notifications. So do please subscribe. Thank you very much. So this interview came about earlier today, and basically CNBC, they got Senator Warren, right? If you guys don't know, Elizabeth Warren is one of the politicians in U.S. She's a big name in the U.S. Congress. Like, she's one of those senators that is almost every day on the news, and really she's a she's very hard on billionaires. I mean, she's always attacking and bashing the likes of Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. I mean, it is what it is, guys. But I just want to remind people that, part of capitalism is, having billionaires and people that were able to produce jobs and to give jobs to people. I mean, if you don't have that flexibility, if you don't have thresholds, then that's what, sort of what capitalism is about, right? But anyways, I'm not even going to get in that debate. That's not the whole point. But I just want to give you guys a really brief background of who Senator Warren is. Obviously, Americans watching this video knows a lot about Senator Warren. She's been all over the news. But look at this, guys. This video titled as Warren on Crypto Regulation. Don't wait until small investors are wiped out. So I want to play this video and let's see how far we can go into this.
It was fascinating to watch the hearing yesterday. And here's where I wanted to start the conversation. We had Mike Novogratz on the program in the last hour. He's in the crypto business, in the industry. And one of the big questions is how to regulate the industry, but also when to regulate the industry, because there is an element where this is still early stage. It's still startup. And how much regulation do you want to put on now in the same kind of breath that we would have had a conversation about should have we regulated the internet more or not in the 1990s?
You might look at this another way. Look at the lesson from history about when do we regulate drugs. As long as people can sell snake oil, it turns out that nobody really invested in having good drugs that were safe and that helped people. And once we really had an FDA that stood up and that said, you know what, we're going to test these drugs before they go on the market, we're going to assure the public that they are safe, then look what happened. We got a whole lot more investment and obviously a much bigger market that helped the entire world. I don't want to wait until a whole lot of people, a whole lot of small investors, a whole lot of small traders have been completely wiped out. I think rules of the road that are there at the beginning that people say, we got a cop on the beat, give people a lot of confidence, and they mean that the bad actors know, hey, somebody's watching out and we can't keep pushing frauds on people.
Okay, so couple notes here, guys. Couple notes. First of all, she made a reference to the FDA approval. Now, in this channel, we talk a lot about FDA approvals because we actually talk about companies that are involved directly with FDA approval, specifically with genomics, genome editing companies. And we all know in this channel, if you guys been watching our channel, I talk a lot about how the FDA has to decrease cost, decrease delays for the FDA to approve eventually drugs. There are millions of people dying at a daily basis because of diseases, because we have no cure, and we have companies for the first time in history developing CRISPR technology drugs that can address those unnecessary deaths. So FDA have direct control over that process, right? And I think this is crazy how she's basically comparing the need for an FDA system in cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and so on. I think that's just a crazy argument to make. That's one of the worst parallels I've seen up to date. Again, if you're uneducated, if you don't know what's going on in the space, if you don't know about cryptocurrencies, then this may make sense to you. But for her to bring up, the FDA approval with drugs, I think this is a crazy parallel. Makes absolutely no sense to me. If she's basically stating that, we should put more regulation to protect small investors, but that's totally false. I mean, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies literally were started by small investors, by retail investors, and it's institutions that got on later in the recent years. In fact, many institutions haven't even gotten into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies such as Litecoin, Ethereum, and so on. So I think this is quite a hyperbole here from her to even compare what happened in the FDA slash drug slash health with what's going on with cryptocurrencies, with digital finances, with people finances, with wealth. We talked a lot about how there are many countries out there with millions of citizens without bank accounts, and Bitcoin, the network, for the first time ever, allows people to have that opportunity to participate in a global network through the economy, having more artists, more entrepreneurs, more engineers on our internet, on the global scale. I think that's just crazy. So again, I just wanted to point that out. So let's keep this rolling. Let's see how far we go.
Senator, what do you make of this, though? And I've gotten this critique myself. I often talk about trying to protect the little guy, the small investor, whether it's around crypto or some of the meme stocks and the like. And what I often hear now from people is, no, Andrew, stop. Don't protect me. You're not protecting me by talking about by trying to do that. You're actually protecting the big guy. You're protecting the establishment. That if you actually regulate this system, that the little guy is not the one that becomes the beneficiary of it. Give us the freedom to invest in what we want. That's a message that I keep hearing.
I want people to have freedom to invest. I just don't want a system where the big guys, where the shadowy guys, where the guys you never quite see can get out there and do pump and dump, can defraud people, can take in a lot of folks' money and then disappear. I think the question is not just regulation. The question is how it's aimed. Who takes advantage of there being no rules? It's the big guys. Who wins when there's no cop on the beat? It's the big guys. So that's the part that I care about, and I care about it happening before a lot of people have been wiped out.
Do you believe crypto?
And she just totally ignored the question. I mean, the question was, if you put regulation, it benefits the big guys and not the small investors. And she started talking about how there were shadowy people in this space, how the big guys are doing pump and dump. That makes absolutely no sense to me. I mean, pump and dump, it's being happened right now on your screen. You see GameStop here. It's literally being done by institutions. Chamath, one of the legendary investors, literally made almost $1 billion from GameStop earlier this year. He is a big investor. He is him and his friends are big institutions, basically billionaires. And yet they're not putting more regulation on the public stock markets. I mean, that makes no sense to me. I think this is just her trying to push that narrative through legacy media once again, that cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin specifically are sort of means for big guys and for shadowy people, for illegal individuals to go through this medium to sort of scam small investors. And that is so far from the truth. That is definitely not the storyline. I mean, the big guys aren't even aware of this space as of today. And what's going on is that you have these politicians going on social media platforms, on legacy media platforms, and basically, trying to push that narrative to citizens, to naive individuals, to individuals that are not educated about this matter. And you create this storyline, right? Just think about it. If you don't know something and someone keeps pushing a narrative to you, then it's just natural for you to sort of grasp to that narrative and really think that is the truth. But in reality, without pulling numbers, without putting statistics, without putting some actual research in your words, in your evidence, it just shows that she's basically spewing information that is completely false, that is misleading people. And to me, I think that is a complete, in my opinion, that is a crime from a politician here to sort of spew that information without actually providing any sort of evidence. And I really wanted to point that out. So let's keep rolling.
Crypto, do you believe in crypto as an idea? I mean, is this something that you think personally has a great future? And is this something that you think may disrupt the financial industry in a positive way?
So, look, right now, one of the things that I think is very interesting is digital currency. You know, goodness knows that there has been an enormous failure by the big banks to reach consumers all across the country. Talk about the people, the millions of people who are unbanked or underbanked, who are paying way too much just to be able to have their paychecks cashed or to be able to pay their utility bills and their rents, just to try to get a little edge into the financial system because they don't have standard checking accounts. Digital currency and central bank digital currency may be an answer there because the costs are extraordinarily low for being able to transact. And maybe that will be a way going forward that we get more people into the system.
What do you make of the idea that there's a whole bunch of people who've invested in Bitcoin who are buying it as an inflation hedge because they believe that the government is spending too much money?
Well, look, people can make their own investment decisions, but to do that somehow assumes two things. One is that what's happening with Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency is somehow going to be divorced from what's happening elsewhere in the economy. And secondly, that the crypto coins are not going to have their own inflationary pressures. They may come from a different source than what happens with dollars, but look at what's happened in the high volatility in the price of these things. The idea that somehow they're a protection or a hedge, I don't think that's going to be borne out over time.
Yeah, I don't think she knows what she's talking about, actually. Crypto inflate. I don't even know what she even said there. She's using these key term words to grasp her audience. I think that was totally false from her. And plus, the question from Andrew from CNBC, he actually asked a really simple question: do you support cryptocurrencies? She started talking about digital currencies, and this is obviously, we all know digital currencies are centralized by entities, specifically from governments and banks, centralized banks. So I think this is completely off topic. It had nothing to do with the cryptocurrency question. And ultimately, I think she's just basically pushing this narrative to individuals, pushing this narrative to citizens. And I really truly feel for people that aren't aware of the space. I think this is happening for years. And now that you see there's a traction and there's an actual use case from, you see El Salvador, they adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender. You saw other nations looking into adopting Bitcoin also has potential legal tender as well in the future. You see Tonga here, our interview with Tonga. Lord Fuzitia, we saw how important it was to adopt Bitcoin as rails for their citizens because remittance is 40% of their GDP, and removing those unnecessary fees from the likes of Western Union and middleman companies. I think the Bitcoin network, cryptocurrencies in general, they are a big positive. Obviously, there are going to be some pushback, but to have these politicians go on legacy media and again use keywords that are easy to be flashy, that are very easy to be understood by uneducated people, but ultimately it is false, it is proven, it is given without actual evidence, and there's no statistics, there's no evidence. I think that's just unfair. Again, we never provide financial advice. We want you guys to do your own research, but just think about this. She wants to put more regulations on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to protect smaller investors, when in reality the Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are actually were started by smaller investors, retail investors, the average citizen, and big institutions haven't even gotten started yet with adopting Bitcoin in their balance sheet and so on. So I think this is just unfair. Again, it is what it is. I also wanted to show you guys really quickly this video. Michael Saylor, obviously big Bitcoin bull, against Elizabeth Warren. This is a cartoon. I really wanted to show you guys this. If you guys played Pokemon back in the days, you guys will recognize this. But just give it a watch. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Uh, so I guess I wanted to end this video like this, guys. Again, you may be a politician, maybe have a lot of credentials with laws and regulations and your past history, but when it comes to technology, when it comes to understanding technology, I think this is a clear testament that you may not be fit to actually go about it, and this is why the new generation is fighting very hard to adopt Bitcoin in institutions and in specific communities, societies. I think there is a whole movement behind it, and we've covered this in the past in our channel. And to me, I wanted to make a video on Senator Warren, their information. I just wanted to show you guys what the FUD could look like in a legacy media platform where they spew out information. And also, I wanted to end with this funny video there. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please do like this video, guys. Smash that like button, destroy that like button, subscribe if you haven't. We'll see each other in the next video. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great day, guys. Thank you very much.